Okay, it's bonus time. We've already given up our secrets, shown a nifty little thing. It's time to go zombie. So this time, this lesson, number 12, begin, I'm going to give you a couple extra things. Just got a light that's in a place I like, a camera in a place I like for reasons we'll see later, and then my little thing with my parameters. And I've already thrown some parameters in there. Most of these are pretty similar. I've even kept grid guys around. Added a couple other guys, just bubbling them up from before. So I'm actually going to have a wet map. Boy, I can't say this. Wet map points maker, which is going to have everything we've done before, but it's going to be a little different since it's going to have one extra thing. But first, let's talk about zombies. Here in Houdini version 14, there's something you may not have seen before because it wasn't here before called mocap bipeds. And mocap biped 1 is this dude. And you're going, why do I care about him? He just looks like a piece of geometry somebody has. Smooth shaded, click off. Why? Because he's actually walking. Check it out. Christopher Walken. He's moving around. And if you look over here, we've got a couple different things he can do. And they're nice and fast. And the fun one, of course, we're going to go with is zombie. Zombie. And actually, you can also change the speed. Obviously, zombies don't walk that fast. They more go about this speed. Zombie. Actually, I really just care about the face. Okay. So the textures on him are kind of low res, so we're not actually going to use them. I just wanted to show that if you go to texture 4, it actually has a zombie texture built in. But we're going to, actually, let's call him zombie. We're not going to use that texture, so we're going to mess with him a little bit. So right-click on him and go to Allow Editing of Contents. This allows you to alter our little zombie here. And over here in his materials, I'm going to go ahead and give him our... I was going to say grid wet matte shader. Let's make a new shader for him, shall we? Let's take our grid wet shader and we'll call it the zombie wet shader. And we're going to do the same, in this case, just the same simple trick because you've already seen the fun parts of it. So if you go into the zombie, you can grab zombie wet shader. Okay, so now he basically gets a default gray. And what we're going to do is, I feel like I should move the light a little bit. Let's move that guy a little bit over. Kind of want to see the light a little bit. Let's actually do this. We're going to look through the zombie light and center it on our zombie. And I'm going to say the right side. You're like, why am I so interested in the right side of this guy's head? And you'll find out soon. Here's our camera. Oh, my camera's even terrible. Never mind. Thought he was cool. So there's our zombie, right? Zombie. He's actually doing the in-place walk. There's an option here to make him not in place so he actually moves. You know, I might even use that. That is kind of cool. Let's go ahead and use that, shall we? I'll just move the camera. Zombie. Okay. So that's our zombie. That's our setup for it. And the only thing we need now is a fluid. And what I'm going to do is we're going to make a fluid that is a blob that goes and squishes right on his face and then slides down. In other words, hit him with a drop of, let's call it blood, that drops down and does our whole trick. So what's the first thing we need to do? First thing I guess I'm going to say to do is, although this is a zombie we're messing with, I really only want to concentrate on this part, his noggin. So let's make a geo and let's call it zombie head. Okay, and inside our zombie head, get rid of this thing. Let's do an object merge and bring in the geometry of the zombie. Now at this point you're like, where is the geometry of the zombie? If you go over into our zombie, you notice that he has, among all these other things that you can look at your leisure, we don't really care about, his actual geometry is really here. And if you go inside of here, there's really just this guy that has his actual geometry. So for what we care about, it is Move the surface, you can see it. In zombie, we're looking for geo, and within geo, we're looking for deform 3. Boom. So now we've got our geometry, and we've got it here. So our next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to grab our, how to explain this? We just want the geometry of the head. Whoa. Let's do this. Having him selected, let's hit enter. Let's say we want to grab primitives. Okay, I want to do front and back facing. That's all peachy. I want to know if I can just grab this guy's head. I kind of want to. Oops, sorry. Let's hit. I'm using the space bar here. Let's. It's a little hard to do by hand, but let's actually grab his head. Sorry if that glitched there for a second. I had a little problem with my recording software. I was going to grab his head like this, but it's kind of hard because he's all kind of connected. Let's actually see if he's got some groups. He does. Body, pants, shirt, shoes, right? Let's actually delete everything except for the body group. Let's see what that gives us. Yeah, that's good. His hands are in there too, but that's fine. This will be great. We'll use that to scatter our points on. It won't matter because any parts that we scatter on that are dry get deleted anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. The only other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to put down a trail, and that's just so we're going to get the velocity. And of course I'm going to do my favorite trick of out, so we'll know who we're grabbing. And that's the geometry we're going to use as our quote-unquote character. Now, that's our guy. Zombie head already, and actually running close on time. So I'm going to go to the next one. Come back for lesson 13, and we will do the rest.